You recording the Zoom?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, so welcome everybody. It's our first Hot Take MMA podcast. We're going to turn this into a weekly event here. So go ahead and introduce our co-host here, Matt Aragon, with the terrible Zoom background. Still heartbroken over that.
Shout out,
I'm
shout
Derek.
out, shout out, Charles.
Terrible. You're a terrible man for that. But yeah, so we have some things we want to talk to you guys about. So this week we have a lot of news coming out, and we want to keep the podcast somewhat short. So we're going to mostly talk about the Darren Till and Jack Hermanson fight. We know that's off at this point. So we did put together our show notes before that was announced, but still want to go over that. I think it's interesting. And then we're going to break down a little bit
Fragile
further.
man.
We're going to break down a little bit further the Sean O'Malley and Pedro Munoz situation. A lot of news has came out of that as well. We see the beef hasn't really settled too much. Community swaying their opinion slightly. I do want to talk about the Nate Diaz and Nelk Boys reporter situation, and we'll end the show giving our predictions and preview of this week's fight card, which is RDA and Fiziev, however you want to pronounce it. Before we jump into that, Matt, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm tired.
What'd you do?
I had hard night of sparring last night, and I had to wake up and go wash dishes all day today. So I'm tired.
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be you.
Went to bed at 5 in the morning, woke up at 9:30, sat at my desk. I'm a lucky man. But yeah, so let's jump into it then. So we want to start off, we're going to talk about what everybody's been talking about this week. Darren Till, man's got issues, real problems. We seen last week a lack of sparring causing issues for Max Holloway. And this week we have too much sparring. Or what do you think's going on in the gym, where this is 3 fights now with Darren Till dropping out of his cards? We had the Marvin Vettori fight. Is that it? Am I being dumb? I thought there was a couple other situations.
No. It was the Marvin fight and this fight, but it's also the fact that he was injured in the Brunson fight too.
Yeah, what was that? Something with his leg. Was it his
Well, I
hamstring?
think.
It was what?
I think had his ACL was torn
Okay.
before.
Yep. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, he hasn't been 100% for a while.
But we don't even know if it was an injury from sparring or what. It's just, I think what it is he doesn't do recovery in his camps.
Well,
You
it's hard to
never
do
see him
recovery when
doing any type of recovery.
he's training nonstop. He doesn't even give himself time for recovery, which we do want to talk about that a little bit. I mean, it's hard to recover when you're working nonstop with Hamzat. We've seen the videos with Block Asset, the Smash Bros. The Smash Bros.
He wasn't training with Hamzat for this camp, though. Hamzat was training with Jack.
No, but we still had, a very solid amount of time. They still hang out. It's not
He
like they're
just
not
got
hanging
hurt.
out anymore. They're hanging out, they're working out.
What?
Well, I said if they're hanging out, they're working out.
No, I'm saying Darren Till in his fight camps doesn't do any type of recovery, or it seems like he doesn't do any recovery because he gets hurt so often.
So what would be your method of recovery then? What would you recommend?
You know how all these other fighters go to these cryotherapies, all those things. Fighters get massages, cupping therapy, all that. I never see Darren. I think we've seen him with the cupping therapy once.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that was against Brunson, wasn't it?
therapy with Hamzat, but that was outside of camp.
Yeah. So what do you think's going on with Till? You think so? I was looking through some comments earlier on the UFC subreddit and kind of just looking through some other UFC media, and a lot of people are saying Till's over the water. They're saying he's done. He's young, but he's washed. And I read that a lot. I mean, I don't think so. I think Till's kind of coming into his prime here right now. He's got, I think that if he comes back in his next fight and he puts on a real spectacle, a real show, he's right back in that top contendership. He's, what is he, 1-5. His last win was 3 fights ago against Kelvin Gastelum, and that was a split decision. Besides that, we've got a loss to Derek Brunson, third round sub in the main event that he was in, and then a loss to Robert Whitaker, unanimous decision. Fantastic fight, in my opinion, but you're going to
Dropped
get
him in the
shit for
first
saying that
round.
because that fight was more technical than the Izzy fight. We got a loss to Masvidal, second round KO, and a loss to Woodley, second round submission. I mean, over his last fights, we're looking not too hot there. So where does that put your head?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a fan for Darren for a long time, and I love Darren, but the Woodley fight, everyone kind of knows, and it's just kind of a known thing that he was really young and kind of got pushed way too fast and was not ready for that Woodley fight. He did get rocked and dropped, and then he got submitted in that fight. The Masvidal fight was heartbreaking, especially considering that was his first time in London, I think, or like his first time fighting in front of the UK, or I think it was the first time he fought in front of his mom, one of the two.
I think it had to have been his mom because it wasn't it the Liverpool card where he came out and it was against wasn't it against Wonder Boy? And he walked out to
I'm not sure. I'm not
sweet
sure. I remember that him and
Caroline.
Masvidal did all the media for that fight in the UK.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't
But
really know. I
then
wasn't
those two
watching.
fights were at welterweight, so we could kind of throw those out the door. Moves up to middleweight and fights a top contender with Gaslam. People have their mixed opinions on the fight, but I think it was pretty obvious he won the fight. It was a little bit tactical, back and forth, technical. He did get the split decision win. I think he got it right. And then he fought Whittaker, where Abu Dhabi. That was a good fight, and he could have won that fight if he picked it up more. He was kind of slow. He did have like his knee got blown out by one of the oblique
Stomps.
kicks from Rob. He dropped Rob in the first round. I can't remember. I think Rob dropped him, but I think it was like because he was like on an awkward angle or something like that, or like Darren was on one foot, something. And then his loss to Brunson was, I mean, I didn't never got to watch that fight because it was a fight night and they don't put those on the ESPN, and I had to go to work. But Dad was texting me updates, and he basically said when they were on the feet, Darren did decent and was landing good shots, but when they went to the ground, it was just domination by Brunson. And
Yeah,
then kind of
Darren's
looked
given
like
me.
Darren gave up on the submission.
Well, I mean, yeah, I after 3 rounds of being on pretty much, let's call it 13 minutes of ground control, it was Darren's kind of given me a little bit of what Kevin Holland was going through. Had a little bit of a tear, and then people figured out, okay, well, I don't know, the Brunson fight really just kind of looked like a Kevin Holland fight to me, where anytime he was on the feet, he's dangerous, and his striking is just
Well,
beautiful.
we
His Muay
just
Thai
seen
is
Kevin
just second
Holland
to none.
submit. What's his name? Tim Means.
For who? What happened?
Well, we just saw that Kevin Holland changed it up and actually learned and improved on it, and he just came out and submitted Tim Means like 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely. But that does. Did you? I mean, we watched that fight. Kevin Holland still got taken down. The problem with people like Kevin Holland and Darren Till when they're having these issues with grappling is not the fact that you're getting taken down. If the person's game plan, especially Brunson, is they're going to take you down. That's all they have. All they have is a takedown. You're going to get taken down. The problem is getting back up with urgency and doing everything you can, getting your feet on the hips, not being complacent, not holding, the full guard and then locking your feet behind the back of Brunson. You need to be proactive on the ground because if you're not, you're giving away the rounds. Come third round, you're tired. I don't even know how you're so tired. I mean, we know now that he was injured, but I mean, his eyes bashed up. I guess you're tired because you got the body weight of a 200-pound man, even though they, weighing at 185, they're walking in the ring at 200, 205. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see Till take it a little bit slower in his training sessions, take some time, heal. We need to see him in the arena. Fortunately, he has a fantastic personality, so I don't really think he's going anywhere as far as fans are concerned, especially if I'm not here talking shit. Probably not a lot of people are. They're saying he's washed, and I don't think that's the unanimous decision of the fans, though. And I do want to talk about, I have Hermansson's record here. So Hermansson's not looking too much better. He's 2-5 in his last
With
5
all that
fights.
being said, I still think Till would beat Hermansson pretty easily. Because I don't think Hermansson is top 10 in middleweight.
Well, look at Hermansson's who he's fought. We're talking, so Till, we have Brunson, Whitaker, Gastelum, Masvidal, and Woodley. Some great fights. You said we're
I
throwing
know,
away the
but
second.
he
Huh?
got he got a second round TKO from Cannonier. He beat Gaslam with a heel hook, lost a decision to Vittori,
Vittori's a dog. Don't do Vittori like that. Vittori's a dog.
lost to Strickland.
Dude, you just hate Strickland. That's the problem. You just hate
Strickland's not
Strickland.
good.
Strickland is good. He's ranked number 4.
Strickland's a mediocre kickboxer.
Okay, but he still was ranked number 4. He still tore through Jack
He just got
Hermansson. I
beat
mean,
by
if
an
you watch
unranked.
that fight, Jack Hermansson didn't really stand a chance in that Strickland fight.
He beat
So
Edmund Shabazian, but still, I mean, Edmund's up and coming.
I don't want to be disrespectful. When I was going through these show notes and I saw that name, not a single bell or even faint ring of that name happened. I have no idea who
I'm
that
just
is.
saying,
I'm
I
sorry,
think
Edmund. I apologize.
I think it would look like the Cannonier fight. I think the first round would be a little back and forth with the takedown defense and striking and stuff, and then boom, second round, Darren would probably get his number.
Okay. Hey, you know what? It's off.
But Darren's ass is hurt, so it doesn't even matter. And
Oh,
I
I
think
know.
Chris
It
Curtis,
sucks because that was going to be a great fight. And so me and
I
Matthew were
hope
going to
Chris
talk.
Curtis wins.
You said what?
I hope Chris Curtis wins. I think he's a little tiny
Uh,
for the division, but I hope he wins.
okay. Chris Curtis just fought last weekend, right?
No, I think it was like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. How'd that go? Who'd he fight? I don't remember.
I can't remember the dude's name, but it went to decision. It was a pretty rough fight though. He landed a bunch of body shots. He was getting pieced up a little bit though. It was a good fight,
I'm
but he
surprised
looked
he's being
he looks
allowed to
good
come
in his
back.
interviews.
I'm surprised he's being allowed to come back and fight so soon. Normally there's like a minimum suspension period for anybody who's fought, especially if it was a rough fight, wasn't just, first round
He's the
knockout.
action man. He took Phil Haas on late notice for his debut. He's badass.
We saw what Phil Haas just did to win. Oh my God, stop the fight. Stop
Man,
the fight, please.
virtual. Can we talk about
So
what Sean
before
O'Malley did to Pedro?
I did, but hold up. Before we move on, I do want to get your one last opinion on this Till and Hamzat, and you throw in Hermansson now. I didn't know until a week ago that Hermansson and Till, or I'm sorry, I didn't know until a week ago that Hermansson and Hamzat were buddies. And so is Hamzat feeling a little bit relieved right now? If you're in Hamzat's shoes, how are you feeling? You're about to have your two friends go head to head. You trained with both of them.
I think I think Darren just straight up doesn't care and is still cool with Hamza, and Hamza understands that.
Yeah,
Hamza
but
understands that he could train with Jack and still be homies with Darren because Darren's just probably doesn't care. He understands that they're literally training partners, been training partners forever.
hey, but put yourself in their shoes and take your two best sparring partners, your two best friends at your gym,
They're
and
not best friends and sparring partners, bro. They're homies.
okay, but you know what I'm trying to say. So you're saying you would feel no type of relief because if I'm Hamzat, I'm not saying it to anybody's
If
face,
I'm
but I'm feeling
Hamza,
on
I
the
would
side
be
of it.
worried about getting a fight.
If you're who?
If I'm Hamza, I'd be worried about getting a fight scheduled.
170 or 185?
170.
And
And I
he's
would make sure I get a proper weight cut.
okay. So Hamzat called out Alex Pereira or how Alex Pereira. I don't know how to say it.
I know I've seen that, but that's kind of just him trying to get a shot at Izzy.
So you want to see that?
I'd rather see him than 170. I think he'd do way better.
Okay, this isn't on the show notes. We're going off the rails a little bit. That's no problem. Who at 170? We've seen the Gilbert fight. I want to see the Gilbert rematch. I think that fight deserves it. I think that was a barn burner, a fantastic fight. Both men poured every ounce of their souls into that.
I think we should see him versus Colby because for one, Colby's number 2 right now and just went 5 rounds, 5 competitive rounds with Usman not too long ago. And we haven't seen Colby fight nobody in the top 5. He don't fight shit in the top anything. So I want to see Colby fight somebody, and I want to see Hamzat fight somebody up there. If not, I want to see Hamzat versus, I can't remember the dude's name, but the other fighter who's crazy at 170 who just fought like 3 weeks ago and submitted Neil Magny.
Shavkat Romanov?
Yeah,
Romanov? Oh my God, I would love to see that fight. I
I
would
think they're
love to see that.
similar, but I think Romanov or whatever is more technical.
I have to agree. I think that the
Hamzat's a
fight
dog though. He
who?
walked Gilbert down.
Yeah, but dude, Hamza was stupid in that fight. He did a great
Yeah, but
job,
he was still going ham.
but he didn't make the best decisions. When you watch Shavkat's fights, dude, this guy calculates every single thing that he's doing, from his jab to his hook to feigning down low, whatever it is, it's calculated, and it's like a chess match to that guy. And when you see him pick apart, I mean, Neil Magny, people like to give Neil Magny a lot of credit just because he's like Cowboy, where he just takes whatever the UFC says and he's like, yep, for sure. And sure, I respect that. I appreciate that, because without people like him and Cowboy, there's no passing of the torch. You don't really get a lot of people getting that chance to showcase their abilities towards the upper echelon. But Neil Magny got absolutely demolished.
Shadow.
So, but I want to save that fight. I'd rather see the Colby fight. Colby's, compared to Shavkat, older blood in the 170-pound. He's had his chances at Usman. And I think that we get another Usman
Colby's
Colby
not
fight.
even running his mouth anymore. I don't know what he's doing.
Who, Colby?
Yeah,
Yeah, Colby's too busy getting his veneers fixed and his fake Rolex with new cubic zirconias plugged into that thing.
we need to move on.
We need to move on. All right. We're gonna get banned on our first show. Okay, so yeah, you segued into it a second ago. I'm sorry. That was a great segue. I ruined it. I do want to talk about Sean O'Malley and Pedro Munoz. I have some beautiful pictures here, and I completely forgot to click through them. So,
I think we should keep it short and sweet with this because I don't think, as the MMA community, like in general, should not like sit and ponder on this fight. I think we should just say, look, it ended how it ended. If you're a Pedro fan, you think Pedro was winning and you believe Pedro. If you're not a fan of either of them, you probably believe Sean was winning and believe Sean won. If you're a fan of Sean, you obviously believe Sean won. Everyone has seen the punches that Sean landed on his eye, Pedro rubbing his eye in between the rounds, Pedro telling the doctor there was 2 eye pokes, Pedro complaining about fake eye pokes. But I don't think we should ponder on it too long because it's just going to waste everyone's time and make everyone mad. Sean has said he'll take a fight in September and is trying to get back in there soon. And Pedro can go fuck off.
okay, so I we can't have bias when we're talking about these things, but it's hard to avoid. There's bigger things to talk about. I agree. We don't need to sit here and talk, oh, is it a good call? Is it a real eye poke? This, that, and the third. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We have to. We have to talk about that a little bit. But I'm more concerned that the judges' scorecards came out and Pedro Munoz won the first round on 2 of the judges' scorecards. Pedro Munoz threw
Only landed
zero,
kicks.
only kicks, 26 leg kicks, 0 significant
But
strikes.
like half of them were checked.
Half of them, half of them were checked. And Sean O'Malley made a good point. He said, okay, if each leg kick is going to count as a significant strike, then each one I check should count as a significant strike as well. Now, I disagree with that, but I see where his thought process is
Do you know
that
what
just
it
because,
feels like to have your kick checked?
no, I'm saying it would be too hard to
It hurts
consider if
more
something's
than
checked or
getting
not checked.
kicked. It hurts more than getting kicked. And those are full power kicks.
Okay, shit. So you want to change the rules in? Check
No,
is a
I'm just
significant strike?
saying that you don't win an MMA fight only throwing kicks, especially when your kicks are getting checked.
I agree. I
You
agree
can
with you.
see
I
how
think that that's a
uncomfortable
terrible.
Pedro is in there when he threw a spinning heel kick. We never seen Pedro do that shit before.
How funny was it when Sean made fun of him?
How funny was it when the fight got called off?
Okay, why do you got it, bro? Why?
I'm
That
saying.
you just kind of ruined my whole night. Honestly, we could just stop the show right here. It was
I
a good.
don't think there should be a rematch. I think Sean should move on and fight somebody, and Pedro should move on and fight someone. Maybe a rematch later on down the line if they both do good or they both do bad.
Okay, so with that being said, then, well, I'm going to continue being disrespectful. I've been disrespectful this whole time. I'm not going to stop. I do want to look at this. This is what Pedro Munoz posted. So it looks pretty official, but I mean, come on, like it's a picture. A picture's a picture. Things can be photoshopped. Things can be changed. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm
It's
just
just
saying,
funny because this is the same injury that took Michael Bisping's eyeball away. So
bro, you're gonna get that guy all messed up. Yeah, we had a guy comment. We've only gotten like one or two comments, and some guy came at us. We're hot takes MMA. We gave a hot take 30 seconds after the fight. And he's like, "Oh, you need to wait. You need
screw
to
that guy.
wait." Okay, all right. He's gonna watch this. You know, I don't know. It's a hard situation. So with Sean O'Malley, then what do you think's next for him? I cannot wait personally for the Cheeto Vera rematch. At the time, I was a huge Cheeto hater. I'm kind of a fan of Cheeto now, and I might be going for Cheeto in that fight.
I think Rob Font, Cheeto, or why not Adrian Yanez? Adrian Yanez just got ranked, I'm pretty sure, or is like is really close to being ranked and is a top striker and called out Sean. And like 2 months ago, Sean was calling out Adrian. That would be a dope fight. They're both fast strikers.
So Adrian Yanez went on the Believe You Me podcast with Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith, and he had a great piece on there. But I think the reason that fight won't happen is because Pedro gave too much credit to Sean. Straight up, Pedro said, I would love to fight Sean. I think that's a great fight for both of us. I think the fans would love that
And
fight.
Adrian,
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Adrian Yanez was saying, I think that's a great fight. I think that's what I want. But they needed a huge, there's always a but. He goes, but I understand completely if Sean doesn't want that fight because he's ranked higher than me and it doesn't really offer him much. As soon as you just gave it, you cut a great promo, you made a bunch of great points, and then he gives us a huge but. So what's the saying? It's something along the lines of like anything that's said before a but, you just throw it away. It's everything after the but is what matters. And he said, but it doesn't make sense for Sean, which I disagree. I think it's a great fight, but it's kind of like that whole play school ground thing where it's like your own team said it. Yeah, this own guy just said, yeah, I don't think I'm worth Sean's time. So I don't think Sean's going to pursue that fight. I do think Sean and Rob Font would be a great fight. I do. Did you see Sean and Triple C backstage?
yeah, well, did you see them tweeting each other today?
No, I didn't. What were they saying?
Sean asked if he wanted to fight in September, called him a fat ass, and Henry said USADA won't let him fight in September
Why?
and that he needs more time to cut weight.
Wow. So what the hell what is he doing backstage calling people
Henry's a
out,
goofy
asking them if
little
they're about to
fucker. That's
fight?
what he was doing back there.
He's doing what?
He's a goofy little fucker.
Yeah. That's he's he's king of cringe. Been the knee. In the
Very cringe.
knee.
Very cringe.
Let's see. So we already kind of talked rematch or no rematch. We're saying no rematch. Pedro Munoz can go fight in Bellator or PFL or one fight champion or
Now you're being disrespectful.
yeah, hey, my bad. I said I'm not going to stop. So moving on, we got Nate Diaz, Nelk Boys clashing. Schmickety schmackety schlappity dappity blapped him up. Nate Diaz is cool with the Nelk Boys. Backstage with Steve will do it with other Nelk crew. What's going on there? Said you better watch your tweets.
I think he was just backstage by himself. Got
Who, Nate?
slapped. Yeah.
No, Nate was not backstage by himself, brother.
No, I
Nate.
mean, I don't think like Steve and them were back there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I watched the video a couple of times. I didn't see Steve back there, but there's other clips throughout that night where he's in an elevator with them, he's drinking with them, he's partying with them, whatever it is, you know. All I know is
Yeah,
that they
well,
didn't.
I don't know what the story behind it is. I think that dude was just talking shit on Twitter and got smacked for it.
Let me tell you, I got the story for you. I looked into it a little bit. So I was going to give you a chance to give your opinion, but you know, normally you just give terrible opinions, terrible background choices, terrible opinions.
Okay,
Uh
right there.
so we know Nick
That looks
Maximov,
like a
shout out.
terrible height.
Oh,
Right there.
Matthew, your worst co-host award just for that picture. Just for
Go
that
ahead.
picture alone, worst co-host award.
Damn, look at him struggling right there.
Oh, dude, he's almost out cold already. Okay, all right,
Wow.
hold on. Let me tell the story. So the story goes like this: we got Nick Maximov. Shout out to the boys. Shout out to Chico. Oh, I'm not wearing my Chico sweater. Dang it. So he trains with Nate, and a lot of people are calling him the next Diaz prodigy. I don't know if he likes being referred to as that, but he's kind of, you know, that's how the community is looking at him. And so this Nelk Boys reporter, I don't know his name, is on Instagram. It wasn't Twitter, actually. It was Instagram, and he's posting memes of Nick's last loss, which is semi-recent. And so that is what the story
The
is.
one
And so
minute
when the
submission.
guy, huh?
The 1 minute submission.
I think so.
Shout out Chico though.
But that guy went up to talk to Nate. Nate, I don't think Nate realized right away who he was talking to. And then once it dawned on him, I think Nate took it easy on him. And the guy himself, the reporter, said the same thing. He went on Instagram afterwards and he talked about it. And he said, "Thank you, Nate," because backstage apparently was Nate, Gilbert Melendez, I forget who else, but a couple other Nick Diaz Army and Stockton affiliated people. And he said the fact that he only got the microphone smacked out of his hand and the hat slapped off of his head, he felt like he took it off easy. Now, here's where I think, why didn't Nate just smack him straight up, just bink, smack him in the face? Why hit the microphone? Why hit the hat? Just do it. You're already committing. You're Nate Diaz. That's what you're known for. Give him the Stockton slap. He disrespected you. He disrespected your family. He disrespected your boy. He disrespected the Nick Diaz Army. We don't stand for that around here.
Probably didn't want to because he's at a UFC event backstage, already on thin ice because they're not giving him a fight. But I heard today that he does have a fight signed and booked. It just hasn't been announced.
Who? Any rumors on who it is?
No.
Uh,
But it makes sense that it's signed and booked because he finally shut up on Twitter.
you know, I hate to see Nate go. Honestly, it's sad. It's the end of an era. Yeah, it's a real sad thing. I think we'll talk about it in future episodes as it gets closer. So what do you think? Is Nate being kind of like he's riding a little bit too hard for Nick, or
I think it was
being a real
fine.
homie?
No, I think it was fine. The reporter should probably watch his mouth if he's gonna try to interview Nate.
Why can't Maximov stand up for himself, slap the boy?
Maximov wasn't there.
Yeah, that don't mean it's Nate's spot though. I think Nate's riding a little bit too hard.
I think you're riding a bit too hard.
Yeah, I don't want to get slapped. Nate, look, we got 26 subscribers, my dog.
He
I
only
love
lives
you.
like 30 minutes away from you, Buster.
Well, relax. Okay, so I want to wrap up the show here. Let's talk about this week's card. So I'm going to pull it up here off to the side. So this week we got a UFC fight night taking place in Vegas at the Apex, headlined by RDA, Rafael dos Anjos, and Fiziev, Rafael Fiziev. I'm going to go with that. So I kind of want to start. There's only one fight on the prelims that I'm really interested in. No disrespect to anybody else. I'm going to watch them all. But as far as breaking these fights down, it's the Ricky and Zahabi fight. Ricky is a dog. He was on this. No, well, I guess they got a new tough series going on right now. You know who Ricky is?
Yeah.
I don't know him too well.
Trayshawn Gore is fighting on the card too, and he's from the Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did
Yeah,
not know that.
he's the favorite. So we also got Shevchenko's sisters fighting on the undercard. We got David Onama. He's good. I don't know if he's fighting still though. I think that fight got called off.
Yeah, I don't see any odds on there, so probably got called off.
But yeah, I don't really like Trayshawn Gore, but he's from the Ultimate Fighter, and I think he'll probably win that fight. Shevchenko's sister is not the greatest, but I think she'll probably win that fight.
What do you
And
think of the Zahabi and Tercio?
I love Ricky.
Ricky's a little weirdo, man. He's a little weirdo.
I love Ricky.
I'm going for Ricky. I think that'll be a fun fight, so I'll definitely be watching that. Switching over.
Oh, Michael Johnson versus Jamie Malarkey. Jamie Malarkey is no joke, brother.
No, I know. Jamie Malarkey's a dog, an absolute dog.
Damn, boy. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going for Jamie Malarkey because Michael Johnson, sometimes he let his mouth run wild. But I like Michael Johnson. He's an
Matt, I'm so sorry to interrupt. You got to remind me, bro. I keep forgetting to click to these pictures. I got these dope pictures up here.
All good. It's all good.
We're talking about things. So there's Nick Maximoff. For people who don't know, you've seen his face around the octagon. He's always hanging out with Nate. Here's the iconic slap, and then here's this week's card. I'm letting everybody down. That's on Matt. Honestly, that's Matt's fault.
That is not on me.
Okay, I'm sorry. So Michael
Johnson and Jamie.
Michael Johnson loves to talk. Jamie Malarkey. Who Jamie just fight? Let me see if I can pull up his stats real quick.
What do you got for Calvillo and Nunes?
You said what?
What do you got for the Cynthia Calvillo and Nina Nunes?
Well, probably Nina, just because I like her, and I like, Amanda Nunes and their relationship. They just had a baby or adopted a baby. So
I don't think that's her wife, boy.
That's her wife. Nina Nunes is Amanda Nunes' wife.
Damn, she's about to get whooped because they don't fight no more. They're too rich.
Dang. I'll tell you one thing I am absolutely certain about is that Chase Sherman is getting rocked, and he better retire or he's going to get cut. Chase Sherman,
my boy Jared Vandera. He's a pimp. I love him. I love Jared. He's a weirdo.
I don't know anything about Jared.
No. He's not a weirdo. He's just hella chill. He's literally just hella chill and like a normal dude. Like he doesn't try to hide nothing.
Okay. Hey, I've never seen him fight before. I don't know anything about him. All I know is that the Vanilla Gorilla Chase Sherman, 15-10. I think he's coming off of like a 10-1. No, okay. I think like a 5-loss streak right now. It is sad. It's getting kind of sad.
Look, we got to start praying now for Douglas Silva de Andrade, because Saeed Nurmagomedov is gonna shit on that boy. And I'm pretty sure de Andrade's got knocked out in his last fight too.
Oh no, dude! So, hey, anybody with the last name Nurmagomedov, just make.
No, he won his last fight. But dude, it's like Saeed is just insane. 15-2. This other dude's 28-4, but like, bro, when you know, and we know.
When you know. So you want to put some money on that or what?
I'm down. $50.
I'm just playing. I just said, dude, Nurmagomedov. Anybody with the last name Nurmagomedov, I'm not betting. They're the favorite and they're winning that fight. And no disrespect, but Saeed is a real certified savage. He's gonna run away with that one, in my opinion.
I got Kaio in the co-main as well. He's a dog.
His last fight was so sad to see what happened. Was it a no contest? No, they defaulted. It was because of an illegal knee, or what was it?
No,
there was some type of
his last fight.
Huh?
I think he won his last fight.
He won due to a technicality, though. So he was
winning. He's fighting as a dog too, though.
Who?
7-1, Armin Petrosyan.
Okay, but Borralio, I'm so sorry.
I think I think Kyle's gonna win.
Okay, I'm going with that. I agree with you on that.
And then for the main event, I'm rolling with the boy from Tiger Muay Thai, old coach, Rafael Fiziev, baby.
I got RDA. RDA's turned a new leaf. RDA's been a certified savage. This is a classic.
RDA pulled out of a fight with a bruised toe.
Huh?
Nothing.
You disrespecting RDA right now?
Yeah.
Being disrespectful, aren't you?
I'm not trying to quote Connor or nothing because Connor kind of weird, but RDA pulled out of a fight because he had a hurt toe.
We've seen fighters pull out of fights for weirder things.
And I'm pretty sure that boy is on the steroids.
You think RDA is on the roids?
Yeah, boy.
Why you say that?
Tin Man's old as Schmidt.
Don't do him like that. RDA coming into this fight ranked number 7.
Right. I'm rolling with Fiziev for sure.
Nah, you're tripping. I'm going with Rafael.
What?
Yeah, I'm going with Rafael.
Oh, okay. You're going with RDA.
No, with Rafael.
Okay, shut up. Because they're literally both wrong.
Sorry, that was a dumb joke. 11-1 for Fiziev, and 31-13 for RDA. Both
But
coming off of
that
win.
one loss he does have it was a knockout.
Okay, Matt, people get knocked out. I'm gonna knock you out later. You're coming to my house to watch the fights tomorrow. I'm gonna knock you out. And then I'm gonna come on the podcast and be like, Matt's last podcast. He did
All right, wrap it up, buddy.
Okay, well, guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for tuning in. For those of us, we got 26 subscribers now. We're creeping up there.
26 I count, boy.
Oh my God, it's gonna be 25 when I sleep Matt later tonight. Unsubscribe. No, thank you guys. We're gonna get better. We'll flush it out, but ride with us for the time being. Tomorrow we'll be posting some YouTube shorts. We're gonna get together, watch the fights. We're not gonna give predictions because we kind of just did that, but we will give our reactions. And then after the fight card, we'll probably jump on. Last time we did a 20-minute video. If the card's great and there's a lot to talk about, cool. We'll do another 20-minute video. If it's not, and we can keep it short and sweet, then we'll keep it short and sweet. But this has been the first premiere episode of the Hot Takes MMA podcast. Matthew, do you want to say anything to get us out of here?
I think that this was a good episode. They do gotta give us some time to get everything down. And I forgot to say this, but I think the fight of the night prediction for that is gonna either be the Saeed fight or the co-main event.
The cow fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's gonna be it. But I wouldn't be surprised if the RDA fight, was a real banger. RDA is a dog, man. You're gonna be surprised.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're both dogs. That could be a banger, that's for sure.
We saw what Fiziev did to Brad Riddell, but then we just saw what Jalen Turner did to Brad Riddell too. So we don't really know if that was anything special. But that spinning heel kick, or spinning heel roundhouse kick, dirty. Oh my Lord. Look at this. Why am I moving my head like I'm blocking it?
Oh, I think we could end the show on this note, though.
All right, I'm gonna send it out.
Shout out Glory Kickboxing.
All right.